Zombies, guns, and absolute chaos. What more do you need? From survival horror that keeps you on edge to full-blown action that never lets up, zombie games bring the heat in all kinds of ways. Some tell gripping stories, others just let you go wild. In this video, we're diving into the best zombie games you need to play right now. Let's jump in. Developed by Techland, Dying Light drops players into the quarantine zone of Harran, a fictional Middle Eastern city overrun by a virus that turns people into flesh-eating monsters. You play as Kyle Crane, an undercover operative sent to retrieve sensitive files from a local warlord. But as Crane embeds himself with the survivors, his loyalties shift, and the grim reality of government betrayal sets in. What makes Dying Light stand out isn't just the zombies, it's how you face them. The parkour system lets you leap across rooftops, wall run, and vault over the undead with great speed, especially during the terrifying night cycles when more aggressive creatures come out to hunt. Bend Studios' Days Gone is an emotionally driven open-world game that follows Deacon St. John, a drifter and former outlaw biker. Set in a post-pandemic Oregon, 2 years after a viral outbreak decimated the country, Deacon isn't just trying to survive, he's searching for the truth about the wife he lost during the chaos. While the game features the usual scavenging and crafting loops, it shines through its story. Deacon's character arc is one of pain, redemption, and reluctant heroism. Developed by the Fun Pimps, 7 Days to Die is part survival sim, part tower defense, and part sandbox horror. The game offers unparalleled freedom in how you survive the zombie apocalypse. Set in the aftermath of World War III, players are dropped into Nevezgain County, Arizona, which is one of the few remaining habitable zones. You are tasked with surviving the undead and the environment itself. What makes this game special is its deep crafting system and the brutal blood moon every 7 days, when zombies swarm in massive numbers to test your defenses. Techland's Dead Island puts players in the sun-drenched chaos of Benoi, a fictional tropical island turned into a nightmare resort after a mysterious zombie outbreak. You control one of 4 immune survivors trying to escape, uncovering a tangled plot involving corporate corruption and bioweapons along the way. The beauty of Dead Island lies in its melee-focused combat. Blunt weapons, blades, and even electrified machetes are your best friends. The RPG-light progression, side quests, and looting make the game even more addictive. A direct sequel to Dead Island, Riptide continues the story immediately after the first game. Once again, our group of immune survivors finds themselves stranded, this time on the flooded island of Palani, where military experiments have made things even worse. Techland stuck to the formula here, adding minor tweaks like new characters, weapons, and water-based hazards. While the story treads familiar ground, there's an eerie sense of inevitability as everything unravels again. DayZ is set in the post-Soviet country of Chernobylite, where society has collapsed after a mysterious infection. You start with virtually nothing and must scavenge for food, medicine, and weapons, all while avoiding or confronting both zombies and other players. There's no scripted story, but that's the point. Every encounter tells a tale. A stranger may help you or shoot you for a can of beans. The thrill lies in its realism. DayZ is brutal, slow-burning, and unforgettable when played with others or against them. Indie developer, the indie stone-crafted project Zomboid as the most meticulous isometric zombie survival sim ever made. There's no escape, no cure, no military coming to help. The only certainty is death, and your only goal is to delay it as long as possible. Set in a fictional Kentucky county, you have to manage hunger, thirst, mental health, even injuries in painstaking detail. What makes Zomboid shine is its emergent storytelling. You might survive a week barricaded in a farmhouse, only to die just because you forgot to boil water. Developed by Saber Interactive, World War Z takes inspiration from the 2013 Brad Pitt film and throws you into co-op missions across New York, Moscow, Tokyo, and more. The plot is minimal, mostly told through 4-player squad campaigns, where survivors from different regions try to make it out alive. The standout feature? Hordes, hundreds of zombies rushing toward you like a tidal wave. It's an arcade-style zombie shooter with a class system, upgrades, and quick burst missions that reward coordination. It's less about deep storytelling and more about sheer chaotic spectacle. Developed by Gamepires and published by Devolver Digital, Scum imagines a dystopian future where death row inmates are dumped onto an island for a live broadcast survival experiment. The gamer plays as one such convict, trying to survive the wilds, undead, other players, and drone surveillance. There's deep RPG-level stat management, down to your metabolism, vitamins, and bladder. While zombies aren't always center stage, they add a persistent threat that forces you to think tactically. The game mixes hardcore survival sim elements with dark satire, giving it a unique flavor in the zombie sandbox genre. Valve's Left 4 Dead changed the co-op shooter landscape forever. Set during a fast-moving zombie outbreak, the game follows 4 survivors. The players must make their way through movie-like chapters filled with undead chaos. There's no grand narrative, just adrenaline-pumping missions full of narrow escapes and necessary teamwork. The brilliance lies in its AI director, which dynamically adjusts the amount of enemies and intensity based on player performance. The game is simple in concept, but legendary in execution. It is still the blueprint for co-op horror games. Developed by Capcom, Dead Rising stars photojournalist Frank West, who gets trapped in a shopping mall overrun with zombies. As he investigates the outbreak's origins, he's also trying to uncover a government conspiracy while battling the undead. The gamer has to fight with anything he can grab, from chainsaws to lawnmowers. The real-time clock in the game and multiple endings create urgency, while the setting gives it a bizarre blend of satire and horror. Its gory, ridiculous, and oddly poignant environment makes it a critique of consumerism and media. Capcom's Resident Evil series has flirted with open-world mechanics, but never fully committed. Fans still dream of a proper open-world Resident Evil, where Raccoon City, or a bioweapon-infested zone where they can explore, loot, and panic in freely. With deep lore, iconic characters like Leon and Jill, and endless mutations of the T-virus, the potential is enormous. Imagine branching storylines, base building to fend off bioweapons, and roaming Nemesis-style threats. If Capcom ever delivers this, it might redefine the zombie genre once again. Developed by the Farm 51, Chernobylite is a supernatural survival RPG set in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. You play as Igor, a former physicist returning to Pripyat decades after the disaster to uncover what happened to his missing fiancée. But things are far from normal. The zone is haunted by creatures, time anomalies, and military patrols. The game blends psychological horror and science fiction into the classic survival loop. The game has base building, companion management, and non-linear storytelling. Every choice matters, and the oppressive will surely keep you on edge. GSC Game World's creation, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. franchise blends survival horror, FPS combat, and Eastern European dystopia like never seen before. The game is set in a fictionalized zone around Chernobyl, where the world is filled with mutants, deadly anomalies, and warring factions. You play as a stalker who is part scavenger, part mercenary. Your aim is to unravel secrets while staying alive in a place that hates you. The plot is fragmented, often revealed through documents, choices, or eerie discoveries. There's a melancholic beauty in the decay, while the danger is ever present. Inspired by Dmitry Glukovsky's novels, 4A Games created the fan-favorite Metro series. The game follows Artyom, a young man who operates through post-nuclear Moscow, where mutant creatures and fascist factions fight for scraps. The series begins with Metro 2033 and expands into a semi-open world by Metro Exodus. It may not strictly be a zombie game, but it channels the same apocalyptic dread. With mutants and radiation, it's a constant struggle. What makes Metro special is its human side, where you will have to make moral choices. Developed by Sega, the House of the Dead franchise is a classic zombie shooter that pits players against grotesque waves of undead creatures in increasingly absurd and fun scenarios. While its arcade roots limit open-world exploration, its narrative revolves around bioweapon experiments gone wrong, courtesy of a mad scientist like the infamous Dr. Curian, the dead come to haunt you. The plot might be campy, but the tension is real. From haunted mansions to research labs overrun by mutants, each level is a fast-paced blast of horror. Its pulpy, gory, and gloriously over-the-top gameplay is a cornerstone of zombie arcade gaming. PopCap Games flipped the zombie genre on its head with this charming strategic tower defense game. You play as a homeowner protecting your lawn from a quirky horde of zombies by planting an army of defense plants. Each plant has unique abilities, from pea shooters to explosive cherry bombs. There's a loose plot about fending off zombies, led by the Mad Doctor. Zomboss, but really, it's all about clever level design, whimsical humor, and addictive gameplay. Don't be fooled by its cartoonish look. PvZ is brilliantly balanced and deceptively deep. Developed by PlaySurroundDead, this indie title throws you into a bleak, atmospheric, post-apocalyptic world where the dead roam freely and hope is scarce. There's no elaborate story here, just you, a rusted-out truck, and a mission to survive day by day. You search through towns, fix up vehicles, build bases, and fend off zombies as the world shifts around you. What it lacks in Polish, it makes up for in addictive killing of zombies. It feels like a slow-burning survival diary, where every supply run could be your last. Think Project Zomboid, but from a third-person perspective with exploration at its core. Yudub Studios created HumanitZ, which is a top-down, co-op survival game set in a world decimated by the undead. A world where civilization has fallen, and you're one of the last survivors. You must try to rebuild, survive, and maybe even push back. You can explore, craft, loot, and build outposts, all while managing health, hunger, and the constant threat of infection. Where HumanitZ excels is its balance between challenge and pacing. It encourages teamwork and smart planning, offering both single-player and multiplayer options. It's a newer entry, but already shows promise as a deep sandbox survival game. Developed by Undead Labs, the original State of Decay took the zombie survival genre and injected it with community management and real consequences. Set in rural America after an outbreak, you don't play as just one character, you build a group of survivors, each with their own skills, flaws, and fragility. When someone dies, they stay dead. The story unfolds through missions and exploration as you uncover how the outbreak spread and how the military lost control. But the real drama lies in how you lead your group. State of Decay is about moral choices, not just headshots.